Then next what we do, we are going to creating for the ELB through using the Terraform. Okay, when you go for ELB, what are the things we need to be required? First, I'm going to show you in the console level. Then after that, you guys can be like it's very easy to who don't know AWS guys, who are not attending still AWS sessions. For them it is. Now let's go for EC2 here. First of all, see that what is the way we need to create a console, what is the resources we require to this. Okay, if you know that theoretically at the console level, then very easy. Like as if you want to create that this AWS load balancer. Okay, load balancer, we need to have the target groups and what is the target group, load balancer name, what is the health checks. If you know all the stuff, then it will be very easy to creating a Terraform stuff. Okay, if you don't know like as all the stuff, then we need to understand the concept, then we can implement very easy in the Terraform. Okay, that's the way we are going. Even that's the reason I didn't discuss the Terraform before completing the AWS. Go for here. Let it become. See, we don't have a load balancer. Create a load balancer here, and then which kind of load balancer you want to create? Application load balancer, let's say. Next, what is the load balancer name, schema, and IP address type? IP address type here is that IPv4, and then do select. Okay, this internet facing and internal. Okay, like even anyway we go for the IPv4 setup. And the listeners, like is what is the ports need to be listener, like as a load balancer listeners, and what is the ports you are listening your application, that kind of ports adding the listeners here, and which kind of subnet we need to add it, the subnet for load balancer, and tags for this. Okay, and we need to be set up all the stuff. Then next, configure security settings. Now let's say my LB something I'm going to create now here. This is fine. Let me select for the multiple load balancer here, at least 2. And the next, improve load balance security. Your load balancer is not using for any secure liner. Okay, that's fine. I don't want to do this. Then go for the here. Then security groups. We need to attach our security groups here. Then go back. Next, another one. Configure routing. Then a target group, and then create a target group name here. Let's say my target, my TG. Okay, and the next here, like target type is the instance or IP or lambda function. Which kind of type we are going to use this? Instance, IP, lambda functions. When you go for any mission like as AWS certifications, right, they are going asking like as this is the kind of questions, which kind of target types we are going to be added. All features, if you do hands-on, then easy to return the exam. Anyway, fine. Now let's see here. There is a like as what is the health check here? Health check is that your instance is healthy, then it will be added to your load balance. If it is not healthy, it will check for the interval time here. That healthy threshold will be checking with the 5 seconds. Okay, and how many times iterating like as a 5 times, 5 into 5 like as 25. After 25 seconds, so it will get to know your instance will be up and running now. Like that, we are going to give the timing for here now, 13 to 5, that 13 to 2, like unhealthy threshold and time interval for this. Okay, that's we can make it very less here, and we are going to be create this success code. Means if you are healthy, it will throw the 200 error, 200 success code. Okay, not error code is the 400, like something 500 page not found something. Now see here, this kind of we are going to be creating a no register the targets and all. This will be happening for when you do this. I'm going to canceling when you create the target register. What are the instances are running in our system? Like as there is a couple of EC2 instances are running, the 2 EC2 instances will be going to be attached into the your target group. Now target group means the target group we are adding the like as what are the instance we are going to running instance. The instance having the some data is running EC2 instance level. That instance we are going to adding the target group. The target group it will be balancing the our data like as 2 instances or 3 instances or 5 instances, whatever it may be. Okay, that is what we are going to do with this target group. I'm just canceling here. You guys knows like what are the features and all. Now you can see in the Terraform configuration file like as what ALB, what are the configuration we can make it. Now see here ALB and all. Let's understand the one by one here. Don't confuse here. It's very simple. Okay, let's from first itself create like AWS instance is 2 instances here. There I'm going to creating instance type is the 2. Count is the 2 means 2 kind of instances I'm going to create at a time with this data. And this is the key I'm going to use. This is a security group I'm attaching here. Okay, this all things we already done. And the key pair creation, elastic IP attachment, and then these 2 instances I'm attaching this elastic IP. If you have the 2 instances, again loops here. Okay, if element is the function, that how many instances are there, count based on the count. That like as if you have the 2 instances, 2 elastic IP will create, the 2 elastic IPs will be attached the instances based on the your count here, based on your count length of instance. Then the I'm going to attaching the elastic IPs here. If it is 1, it is just simply give the instance here like as only 1. If you have the 2 or 3, we are going to do the element function here, looping again. Element is the function to get for the adding for the multiple instances here. And the next thing is that because of I'm going to count 2, right? Because 2 instances I need to attach the elastic IP. We don't need to go for each and every 2 blocks here. Okay, and then that's the reason I'm going to go for the loops here. How many instance IDs are there? That many elastic IP address will be attached for them. That is for the looping there. And the next another stuff is that default VPC. I'm going to get the default VPC here. And the security groups, we already discussed this, how to attach the security groups, ingress and all this stuff. This is the ports I'm going to allow the security group. And the subnets, how to get the subnet, again data source. This is the remote data you want to retrieve. We are going to use the data resource, and we are going to through VPC ID. This VPC, what are the this VPC ID contains that many subnet, we are going to get it here now. Okay, and the next, the resource block, this is for what? ALB target group, the target group health check here. And the next, and the target group name, and then port, instance type, and then VPC ID. These are in the target group setup we are going to set. See, right? The target health check we are going to be set up here now. And the next, load balancer. Even if you can put down or up anywhere in the file, you can, it's not any problem. That's what we discussed previously, right? And the next, application load balancer here. That load balancer name, like internal false, like as a security group attachment, and the subnets, what are the subnet having the data resource, that those subnet will get it here. And the tags for that, like load balancer tag I'm going to creating here now. And then IP address type is the like as IPv4, and then load balancer type is the application load balancer, like as application load balancer it is. And the next, resource listeners is that we already seen that 80 port, or like as what are the ports you want to be, we can listen, but my application is running on the 80 port. That's the reason I put in the 80. Okay, if you are 8080 or something, we are going to make it the based on that your listener. And the next, here is that application target group attachment, because of we need to attach this target group to our, like inside that our what are the EC2 instance we are going to attach, that we need to attach the target group. Like what will happen, this length is how many instances are there. If your 10 instances are there, 10 instances will be attaching the this target group. Okay, this target ID, this is the target ARN, it will get the target ARN, and then after this it will attach for this AWS instance based on the count index.id means, if your count.index means 2.id means the 2 IDs will get it here now, means 2 AWS instance IDs will get it and it will attach here, right? Now because of we are using for the 2 instances here at a time, 2 instances at a time, this HTTP install in the mission using user data, that HTTP will running on over there in the missions, the 2 instances will be create, and the load balancer will create, and the key pair will be create. If you don't have, if it is there, it won't create. Okay, elastic IPs, 2 elastic IPs will create, the 2 elastic IPs will attach the my AWS instance, and the default VPC I'm getting here, and the security group I'm going to creating. If it is already there, it won't create. If it is not, it will create. Okay, and the next, here I'm going to again subnet, I'm going to getting use the data resource and going for target AWS target group here, and again this target group I'm going to allow here. And the next, like as application load balance, this is the load balancer I'm going to creating. AWS LB is the load balancer resource. Okay, and if you still have a question like as what are the options for load balancer and all, just simply go for our documentation, just whatever we refer previously, go for EC2. What is that? EC2 here, and go for yes. Okay, what is that? LB resource AWS underscore LB. Okay, what's happening. This is the latest document about. Okay, somewhere should we have in the data sources now in the ALB. We have that this LB is that load balancer stuff. Maybe this documentation is not for, maybe this latest documentation we have. Maybe let's go for load balancer level here. This AWS LB here. Okay, this is for, it comes under the elastic load balancer level, not for EC2 level. Okay, basically that will appear in the AWS console in the EC2 level, but it is separate resource. They are going to make it this documentation, and just refer here now. Elastic load balancer, this AWS LB now. Okay, just go here and then search here. Let's see this LB and just type and all. Let's all the arguments are there. You can refer here. This is ELB, not LB. Elastic load balancer. We have the LB also. Okay, like this. ELB, ELB, LB cookie, LB, 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 LB. Okay, now this is what. Okay, this LB we can get for the any kind of load balancer. It's not application, that's specific thing here. Even if you go for application load balancer, AWS, ALB, ELB, CLB, like as we have. But if you go for ALB, LB, it can be created for the any kind of load balancers here now. Okay, now we have the all options we go for here, and we need to be check it for it now. Clear? LB resource, if you want, you can go for the attributes level, the LB resources here. All the LB resources we can find out here. This is the way we need to be refer the all the documentation like this. Now security group, subnets, and deletion for protection, true, and access logs, and targets, all the stuff here. This is all the options where need to be used here now. Is it clear, guys? Clear now what exactly I am referring now here? Means if you want to make it application load balancer, this is the way we are go for it. Create a resource here, and the next all the things we are as for console level we are showing, and then we just going to be create now. Any questions here? One by one. Just first let's go for this first block. Now create AWS instance with the user data. Is that clear? And key pair, is that clear? Elastic IP to attaching for the two instances, right? That's the reason I'm going to element block element function to attaching the two instances, right? I'm going to use the function here instead of doing for manually one by one, or else we are going to be attaching here the instance IDs here, taking for two blocks here. I'm going to use the loops. That two will be attaching for the how many instances are there, how many IPs will be created, that many elastic IPs will be attaching for my load balancer instances here. Okay, and the next default VPC I'm getting security groups. I hope this clear. Simple, like we have done this. Subnets, for getting the subnet, I'm going to use the pass the VPC ID. Based on VPC ID, I'm going to the subnet IDs. Like as how many subnets are there in the three subnets in the our particular region. Based on the region, how many subnets are there, that many will get it here. And the target group, the health check, and then this target group I'm going to create, and then load balancer I'm going to create, and the next listeners we are going to be create, and then next attaching the that EC2 is a target group. Is that clear, guys? Any question? The same resources, adding that the simply. Okay, are the features, what are the features, what are the parameters are there? You need to go and refer the documentation of the options. Okay, this IP address, load balancer type, all the things we have the here. IP address type, load balance type, all the stuff. What are the based on the subnet ID, allocation ID, tags, all the stuff here. Security groups, load balancer type, all the things. The same options I'm going to use here. I'm going to get the appropriate values which already created in the resources in the same file. Is it clear, guys? Tell me. Not clear? I'll explain one more time. Guys, what about others? Fine, great. Now let's apply this. Let's see what will happen. Before going to see this applying, now I don't have any load balancers, and let's see that instances. Let's go for EC2 instances. I have only one instance is running on. Okay, and we don't have any instances are running. Okay, and then I don't have any load balancer and all here. Now security groups maybe keys already existed, I think so. Now I'm going to apply this here. Terraform apply. Let's make it yes. Now these are the deprecations. Okay, even not only this, if you want to get the add the multiple ages, multiple subnets, okay, multiple available zones, then what happen? Instead of giving the static content, we are going to use the loops over there. Okay, now it's take little bit time to create a first time. The next time if you do the apply, if you already existed, it won't take much time. Okay, once creating, what are things will created? It's create for target group will create, ALB will create, and then it will attach my AWS instance to inside my target group, and the security group will get AWS key will be created, elastic IPs will create it, that elastic IPs will be attached to my AWS instance. And the next, if you even it will give the load balancer name, then that if you access the load balancer name, that two instances already created, that two instances having running application, that HTTP application is running, we are going to access that directly. Okay, two instances running. If you make it at 4 5, the simply the number, the instead of creating a values like directly static values, we are going to create a variables there. That variable section I'll show the next section. Okay, what is a variable and how to create a variable and all. Now done, 12 resources are added. Just refresh this. Two instances are up and running here. Right, this is for see the name also 21:09 p.m. and 012. There is a two things are created here, instance names, and go here and let's check for one by one. Like this is elastic IP is attached here also. Now even if you don't want elastic IPs, just remove about that. That's not there is no issue there. Okay, now see here that application is running fine here, and then go for another instance. Now let's go for another instance and then go for this. Now it will give this the host name here. Okay, this is for 155 and this is for this 157. That's 57. Okay, that's two instances are running separately. Now what happened when I make it through load balancer, any one of this instance is going to be a response to me, right? Clear? And then next what we are going to do, let's go for our load balancer here. Go for load balancers here and then take this load balancer DNS name. Even this load balancer URL we are going to set up into the like as road 53. That road 53 will just point out to this load balancer. This this, if you make your domain name, it will come to your load balancer. Load balancer will distribute your work to the your instances. That instances will going to be respond to for us. Okay, that's it. That is the end-to-end implementation for your real time also. There's nothing. Okay, anyway, that 80 is no need to. Okay, this is for running for this here too. Now see, this time is going to this load balancer 57. Sorry, this no is not required. Wait, okay, feel like as before. Now it's given the first time is a 57. This next time is a 57. The third time it should be give the like different name 155, and the next 57, and the next 55 155, the next 57. Like any one of the load balancer is going to be give this now response for me. Is that clear now, guys? Now if you whatever you created like as target groups and load balancers and this stuff, how we can going to be clear it out? Let me show you this target groups here. Even there is a couple of options, monitoring, enabler, listeners, and those kind of you want to set up, you can go for here target groups and see here. This is two added here. Okay, like as if you have the how many instances are there, those many instances adding here. If you manually, how many times we are, like as how many steps we need to go? First we need to create a load balancer, then target group, attaching load balancer, and create a security group. All these things we need to create manually, right? Instead of manually, we are going to be write as a infrastructure as a code. We are going to provisioning the stuff. And once it is done, and you feel like as you want to destroy, just simply make a destroy. We no need to go there one by one into remove. Okay, just one command, done. Now just here there is no load balancers won't come, there is no instances won't come, that got removed, and that go for instances that got removed, nothing got. Clear, guys? See, entire things we are going to make it the stack or stack, like as even the next what we do, next application what we do, this load balancer what happened, what is the drawback here? For example, one instance goes down, there is no option to create a one more instance automatically, right? Like as one instance is completely down, maybe CPU utilization more or blah blah things will happen. We don't have an option to create a instance automatically, right? If you want to overcome this kind of drawbacks, we are going to attach the auto scaling. Okay, auto scaling we are going to create. Okay, sir, these are the fine, everything fine, but in my requirement I don't want to keep it my instances are publicly, I need to keep it my private VPC. That's fine. Then create a VPC, create a load balancer, create an instance, and apply in all these instances and all these things into here. The make it only elastic load balancer publicly, then attach to the root 53, then entire stack, own VPC, own EC2 instance, own data, own load balancer, own auto scaling, own everything like as root 53, blah blah things, entire thing.